Pokemon the movie, Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And today, believe it or not, we're finally covering the final Pokemon movie following Ash's adventures in XYZ and ever, Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel.
And this final film shows meeting the mythical Pokemon Volcanion, whom he's bonded to by a mysterious force. Yes, mysterious.
Yes, a mysterious force.
And the Pokemon is on a mission to rescue Magnera. Make sure I
Yes,
get
that's
it right.
Yes, that's the name.
Artificial Pokemon from being exploited by yet another corrupt minister, hunter, poacher.
Something.
Yes, this is really the plot of the final film. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, click notifications for some future podcasts and all the Paws videos.
And thank you for joining us today, subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, and so much more. And we especially thank all of you, but a special thanks to Sylveon14 and Shinigami Sean Phoenix,
yes,
for staying with us throughout this entire Pokemon journey that they ended up putting us on. Thank you so much for recommending it, and thank you all for staying with us and supporting us during our Pokemon journey.
Yes.
So, we've got some good things to say, and we've got some not so good things to say.
Yes.
But first, as usual, let's get with the facts.
Mm-hmm.
The movie Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel was the 19th Pokemon film and the final, because Sun and Moon, for whatever reason, didn't have any movies.
Neither did Journeys.
And it looks like Horizons doesn't either, so maybe they just got tired of making them. I don't know.
It's possible, yeah.
This movie originally released in Japanese theaters July 16th of 2016, a running time of 95 minutes. It made $20.2 million worldwide, with over 5 million, almost 6 million overseas.
Oh, okay.
And we did get an English dub, gratefully.
Yes, still.
And believe it or not, this movie actually premiered in the U.S. on Disney XD in the same year, 2016 in December.
So they put it on TV here instead of the theater. I guess they may have known something.
Well, not anymore. I mean, anything you get now is only on streaming, and now you've let me know that a lot of the other series are going to be disappearing.
Yes, more of the more recent ones with Ash are leaving Netflix at the time of this recording, and now we are mostly going to get Horizons and then new spin-offs from this point on.
So, let's get to the good things about the movie.
Yeah.
Volcanion is the steam Pokemon who watches over the Neville Plateau and distrusts humans, like a lot of the
protagonists of Pokemon.
Yes,
now, yeah.
definitely. And personally,
I guess you said the good things?
The good things. Thank you for redirecting me.
I guess would be one, animation was still just as great as the first two movies and the XY/Z seasons.
Very true.
The music was still enjoyable, whether playing the beginning or having the cinematic soundtrack. All that was still good.
We got an English dub.
Yes.
Yet again, which we're always grateful for.
Right, and the returning cast from the show still got to voice the characters in the movie, along with a couple new people for the new characters.
Very true. And the characters were still themselves.
Yes.
The personalities weren't changed, they weren't different. And we got a movie.
Yes.
So that was something else to be grateful for, because again, we get no more movies.
You're right.
For me, I was really disappointed in this movie. And hear me out. One thing that we both agreed on is that after the movie that Vic Mignogna was in,
the sort of Curian, I think.
Yes, thank you. Curian the Sword of Justice.
Sort of Justice. Yeah.
It began to be all about Pokemon poachers and hunters and sadistic people and corrupt people. Every single movie. And prior to that, every Pokemon movie offered something different and a unique experience, and it was fun. And yes, you would have some travels within some of the movies, like when Team Rocket helped Ash to save the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't all, sunshine and rainbows and so forth. But you didn't have the constant corrupt people and the villains who were hunters and poachers. I personally have had enough of this. And I really hoped that the last movie was going to be something different, something to just be fantastic, something that we'd never seen, a storyline that was different. And unfortunately, we didn't get that.
Yeah, and it's very sad because the movies after this, the three you get, are alternate reality films where it doesn't follow anything from the regular series. It's just Ash on an adventure. Like, what if he just didn't meet his friends? He got a new friend every movie, and they don't actually connect to the main storyline, period. And the fact this is the final film in Ash's main journey for connecting the films to the stories, these characters shown in here don't show up again in Journeys or anything after. And the sad part is that when you watch the movie, usually you get excited for a Pokemon movie. Even if they start having some weird things, you want to see where it goes.
True.
Unfortunately for us, this final one seemed like they were going through the motions to just tell a basic Pokemon story, have the exact same antagonist they had before, have the exact same type of Pokemon hate humans because of what was done to them, they have a grudge against them, and Ash being the one to show them that not all humans are bad, and learn to bond with them. And that was like the unfortunate part watching. It was the same thing, and they didn't even try doing anything different. And they attempted to have you go through all the feelings you have when one you think is dead. And
all my feelings are ever anger when it's a poacher or a hunter or a corrupt person harming a Pokemon. It just ends up being anger, which totally defeats the purpose of me watching a Pokemon movie.
Exactly. And then, of course, we know Team Rocket just kind of gets pushed to the side now in these movies. So they kind of came in last minute. Didn't do much. You thought they did. And except for Meowth really translating. And they tried to stop the bad guy. That really was it. Because they weren't using them in the movies much anymore. Right. And that is the biggest thing wrong with this movie. Everything that goes on, you're not feeling or caring about. I don't even see people talk about this movie when they're talking about favorite films. No one mentions this movie.
And I kind of found it hard to focus. Usually I'm just sitting there and I'm excited, like you said, even if it's not the movie you want, you are invested in it. And this one was just kind of like, okay, let's just get to the end.
And it's so...
And personally, I think this was evidence and proof that they wanted to be done with Ash.
This was before the Sun and Moon.
Yes. This is evidence that they were done. After this, they passed it off to Disney, who did a whole different thing with Ash, and we've already talked about that. And then you get Journeys, where you thought it was going to be, hey, a continuation of his story, but it's not. It's something different.
And
then at the end, Ghost said, hey, dude, I want to be on my own. See you later. And that's it. And then that's the end of Ash, and we get Horizons.
Yeah.
So I think they were really tired, for whatever reason, of Ash. The fans weren't. The people who watched it from the beginning, they weren't. But it's clear that this studio was ready to move on from Ash.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're getting so many spin-offs with different characters, animation style. They want to try to keep it fresh, but with anybody but Ash and these characters, we've been begging you for a Team Rocket movie or a spin-off or something, you won't do it. And this is why it's kind of hard to even review the movie in its entirety, because we even had to separate it from the show itself because it was so unconnected to what happened in the final season or even the end of this run before Ash went home, that it didn't even matter we connected with it, because it didn't connect. It was just an adventure you wouldn't even believe was canon, because you never hear about these characters again in anything after. There was no flashback, no reminiscing, no clip show, nothing. It's almost like the movie doesn't exist.
Very true. So I'm going to go through the voice actors quickly. We had returning, of course, Sarah Natachini as Ash, Iku Otani as Pikachu, Haven Pascal as Serena, Michael Lisseal Jr. as Clement, Allison Lee Rosenfeld as Bonnie, Michelle Knotts as Jessie, Carter Carthart was both James and Meowth this time.
Okay.
And Roger Parsons as the narrator. For Volcanion, he was voiced by Mike Pollock in English. For whatever reason, they don't mention a female voice dub actress for Magrana.
Yeah, I think because she didn't speak, it was just ticking sounds and stuff and beeps, so I guess that's why.
And for the scientist, Nicola was voiced by Scotty Ray, and Raleigh, the Prince of the Azov Kingdom, and Kamiya's younger brother was voiced by Laurie Himes in English, and Kamiya was voiced by Riley Joseph in English.
Okay.
And last Alva was Billy Bob Thompson.
Okay, and that's probably the one we know the most, outside of the main Pokemon cast.
True. Now, interesting enough, we're not bashing the movie, but the box office and the response pretty much supports how we felt about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The film was 4th on the Japanese box office for the first weekend. It was on 366 screens and grossed a total of $4.6 million.
Right, that's low for Pokemon.
It was the second lowest opening weekend in its film's franchise history.
Okay, that explains it.
And overseas, it didn't gross much in China. It grossed a little over almost $4 million. In South Korea, it grossed less than $2 million. In Hong Kong, which for some reason is separated from China's gross, it grossed probably the most at almost $6 million. But no, I'm sorry, overseas total of almost $6 million. But this is one of the lowest ranked movies out of all the movies for this franchise that involves Ash.
Yeah.
And I think it's just unfortunate that they didn't care enough to give us something that would take us out with fireworks and excited and going, the Pokemon franchise was awesome and it left out on a high note, and it really gave us the greatest movie we ever could have expected for the end, because that's what I was expecting. Now, if you guys don't agree with us, let us know in the comments why. We are not lifelong Pokemon watchers. As you know, we're new to it, but we finished the entire series now.
Yeah.
But for me, this movie was just not a great way to end Ash's reign.
Right.
He deserved more, and so did the characters who appear in this season. XYZ, they deserve better. Team Rocket deserved better. The fans deserve better. Everyone deserved better.
Yeah, and again, like I said, we're not really wanting to bash movie because we want to and it's fun. It was just disappointing that it was like this and lackluster. And considering what they've been doing now to have all these spin-off movies and things for Pokemon and have new MCs, new styles, Detective Pikachu's like vanished, we don't hear anything else about it. It feels like they just kind of want to constantly make things, and that's really it. It'd be nice if they did a new movie where, hey, do an anniversary movie and please do it right, where you kind of like are just having fun going through all these different things around the world that you've seen of Pokemon. I could see that being a movie to celebrate the entire franchise.
True.
You can have Ash and all these other characters in it just for like fans around the world. That would be a fun movie to have.
That would have been a great send-off too.
Yeah.
So, if you've seen Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel for season 19 movie, let us know in the comments. Did you love it? Were you disappointed? Did you not like it at all? We really want to know what you think. If you haven't seen it, this is the first time we have said this. We recommend you just don't even watch it.
No.
Invest your time in the other 18 movies, plus some of the standalones on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Much better, and you'll have a lot more fun.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates as we give you your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
And see if there's any more Pokemon at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, subscribing again. And let us know if you're even invested in watching Horizons at this point. We're getting more and more late after the rest of the world for the series. Have you gone back to watching it? Unfortunately, we haven't. We watched the first season and we haven't gone back, but let us know what you think.
Right.
And as always, you guys,
You are specials. Thank you so much for watching Rascal Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.